Um, yeah. When the PA become better? Honestly, I hope for PA to be better, like in the fall. Honestly, like I hope that October is not as bad as it was last year, or I'll cry. October last year is what sent me down the fear of losing spiral because I did it so much. October destroyed me last year. Premium discount. When you look for 50% on higher time frame versus lower time frame. So when you would look for 50%, so you would do this exactly the same way on any time frame, right? And what you do is you wait for a swing high or a swing low to get put in. Hang on. I didn't want you guys to hear me use my inhaler. All right. So on any time frame, if you want to look for a premium and discount, what you need to wait for is a swing high or a swing low to get put in. Okay. So something like this, right? And then you need an aggressive move one direction. So when you see this move, okay, you start watching. All right, let me wait till we put in another swing low. Okay, so um, this is it's kind of a swing low, but you see how this isn't as obvious as this. October last year to see the difference. Ooh, that's okay. We can do that. But do you see the difference between like this three candle pattern formation versus these? See how this is a little bit more prominent? Okay. So we got the swing high, we got the swing low. Now you see how we have this big push one direction without really ever coming back up at all. So that's when you would drop your premium discount, right? So you would take your bleh, your GAN box, your fib, whatever you use, and you take it from the swing high and drop it down to the swing low. Now, you can use this to figure out your premium and discount of this range from here to here. So that's the 15-minute chart, right? You drop down on the 1-minute chart. Now, let's just use this one for an example. See how we have this swing low and then this super aggressive move up, right? So this is on the 1-minute time frame, but you use the same as the 15-minute. So we have this big 1-minute aggressive move up, and we have an obvious swing high and an obvious swing low like this. So you take your fib, start from the bottom because it's a bullish move. Bearish move, you start from the top, go down. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. It's 0.5 either way. So you'd go from the top, go up here, put this at your swing high, and now from a mechanical standpoint, the quote unquote better place to look for longs would be tapping into discount, right? Because if we're going to be bullish and price goes up, then for ICT concepts, you want to wait till we return to a discount to look for the most high probability longs. Doesn't need no, so you just pair it with the time frame that you're looking at. So if you're looking at the 1-minute chart and you want to know the premium and discount for the 1 minute, you would just do it on the 1 minute, regardless of what the higher time frame is doing, if that makes sense. So just pair it with whatever time frame you're looking at. We need to be so yeah, that's um you can pair it with other time frames, right? So if we do have, it's the same way. So we see how we have this swing low here and this swing high here. You can draw your fib here and then say, okay, well, here's discount of the 1 hour time frame, right? But when I zoom in on the 1 minute, okay, now maybe you can combine it with the 1 minute and get yourself a more refined area. it You don't need to pair it, but sometimes it does help for better entry setups. But like, okay, wait. When to pair, when not to pair? So I would say there really isn't a perfect time frame that works perfectly across the board. Yeah. Excuse me. When to pair, when not to pair. I'm trying to think about how I can answer that. I'd say that this 1 minute example is kind of a anomaly because it's literally like a freaking um 380 point move. So you're not going to have this much on the 1 minute always. So I would say you use the higher time frame premium and discount to look for your original entry, and then you would use the lower time frame in case you missed one. In case you missed your entry. So like I would actually mainly use higher time frame premium discount. Like I don't know why I'm using a 1 minute example because I'm rarely ever dropping premium and discount on the 1 minute chart. So like I would use it on the 1 minute if I like feel like I missed my entry after tapping higher time frame discount or premium, if that makes sense. So like if I do this right here, here's a good example. If I draw this, like let's say it was before oops. Shoot. Okay, here it is. So let's say see here we have this big aggressive move up and then we stall, right? Once we get this, right? You drop this down. Okay. Then you would drop down onto your lower time frame and look for an entry off of this discount. So I don't think you would necessarily need to use it on the lower time frames that much. Like using it on the higher time frames will have more confluence, but like let's say, hang on, let me fast forward this a little bit. Okay, so let's say, see how we tap discount, right? Now let's say we got some crazy inverse off tapping the higher time frame discount, and then we just pump up like this, right? But you miss this entry. Well, then maybe you can use the premium discount on the lower time frame to try and look for a re-entry, if that makes sense. So like maybe after dumping this much, for more confluence, you want to wait till we have more bullish structure, then you can use lower time frame to try and find a continuation entry. But I would probably use like premium and discount on at least like 5 minute or higher. The the thing about it is it's hard to say because you can drop these anywhere. Like, oh, here's a move down, right? We'll just drop this. And it technically does work, right? So you can use it on almost any aggressive move in any direction on any time frame. It's just I personally feel like I use it mainly on the higher time frame though. 15-minute or higher because I want to see higher time frame order flow and then figure out where premium and discount is in relation to that. That way I can figure out my high probability areas on the lower time frame, if that makes sense. So you see how on the lower time frame we've got way too much like this to worry about, whereas when you like on a 1 minute chart, you're going to see way more swing highs and swing lows than you will when you zoom out like on the 30, right? So it's a little hectic using the 1 minute premium and discount unless you really have unless it's something that makes sense to you then. But I would say I probably use it on 15-minute or above. And then that way I can be like, okay, we're way high in this current range. So since we're so high, I'll probably wait till we come down here for longs. But yeah, sometimes we're so bullish that we don't hit 50% at all. Sometimes we're so bearish we don't hit 50%. So just a good thing to give you an idea of where price can return to, especially when you have a really, really one-sided move like this. You know, now up here, gosh, we're probably bullish on all-time highs again, everybody. But now up here, if I was going to continue bearish, I can say, well, we're in premium of the 30-minute bearish premium discount. So maybe you could look for shorts up here above. So yeah. Not sure if that helped at all, but sorry, I'm trying to stay hydrated. All right. So we're gonna do some back testing for a little bit. Oh gosh, bro, getting me to back test is like pulling teeth. Like, I wouldn't have the bar set too high for this. But we're gonna do what Amy said because I like that idea. We're gonna go back and turn. I've only taken 81 trades, bro. That's crazy. Had this for months. Meltdown month is what I'm gonna call it. So we're gonna go back and back test my worst month of trading ever, and see if now, after more experience, if I would have done any differently. I think that's a good idea. I like that. Shout out to Amy. NQ. Yes. Select chart layout. Mine. Initial date. Oh, God. I don't want to do this. It was so bad, you guys. For real. I genuinely was like, I don't even know how to trade. And Amy was hearing all of it the whole time. Just in her DMs going, why keep blowing all my accounts? October is so bad. All right. So as terrified as I am, let's do this. Why is it starting at 11:20 in the morning on a Tuesday? I mean, I guess we could just finish out this PM session. First thing we're gonna do is zoom out a little bit and see the higher time frame. Okay. So if you guys were just sitting down to trade in the morning, what's the first thing you're gonna do? Let's get some answers. Where are you starting? What up, Sheets? 4 hour. Sheets, we're going back and back testing my crash out month. We're going to see if I could do any better back testing, which is diabolical. I'd mark out key levels, session liquidity, new week opening gap. Okay. 1 day, 4 hour, 1 hour, 15 minute. Okay. So looking at the daily here, is there anything that's standing out? Because I'm looking at, I like this bearish gap to the left here. Currently holding price down. Okay. And then Tanya, here's a good example. See this big aggressive leg up? Well, if we're delivering out of this bearish gap, I'm going to drop my discount right here and here. And here's my general area of interest for that. And if you'll notice, what does it almost line up with? This new week opening gap, or new day, new week, new day, what day is it? Can't see. There's something in the way. So it's an end dog. So discount lines up almost perfectly with this new day opening gap. So considering we hit this gap up here and we're knifing straight down, this would probably be an area of interest that I'm looking at. Okay. So what's the next thing I would do? Well, I would look in this general area. Are there any super obvious gaps that I could mark out that we might tap into? On the daily, maybe. I mean, I'd say this one probably, because you can see we wicked into it once and couldn't go lower and then pushed up higher. So that's why I would mark out this gap. So I know a lot of times I just be throwing gaps on the chart and I don't always explain why. And I have a hard time because my brain, when I do this stuff, goes like a quadrillion miles an hour. And I don't always know how to translate what my brain's seeing into verbal communications. So sometimes I'm really trying right now. So you see how we have this daily gap here? This candle wicks into this, but we can't get any lower and we just push up higher until we hit this gap. So what am I doing now? Well, I've added 3 things that I can look for price to reach to for me to want to look for along, which is discount of the range, this gap that's sent us higher once before. So if you guys have been joining Vert's classes, that's a significant gap versus an insignificant gap. This gap sent us higher to break these highs and tap this gap. So this is a significant gap. Now, what else could we say? Let's zoom down, I think. Dude, I swear I'm the only one that types 240 minutes to go to the 4-hour chart. It's so weird. Now, are there any gaps? No, not really. So on the 4-hour chart, we're pretty much knifing through everything. We have 2 hours and 39 minutes till we inverse this gap, in which case I'm clearly bearish to here and this end dog. So No, this is one of those scenarios where you can say, yeah, let's look for longs from here. But like, if we start knifing through all of this, it's possible that your bias changes bearish, right? So that's why you need to find these areas to see how we react out of them. Because let's go to the current NQ chart. See how we have this 4-hour down here that we've tapped down, wicked into, pumped, wicked into, wicked into, wicked into, and we just can't close below it. So those are the things that we watch for in these areas of interest. So we have this gap marked. Once we get here, do we respect it and start wicking back up? Or do we knife through it and want lower? So you mark these out and just wait and see the reaction once we get there. Now, I'm going to zoom a little bit lower still because there could be a gap here that we could look for. Okay, so here's a 1-hour gap that we can mark out too real quick. Okay. So why is this a good gap? Well, it's the only one here. So that's good. And price has not touched this gap once yet. So let's say we tap down into this gap and start getting a little bit of accumulation, then we get a manipulation, look for longs. Okay, well, that'd be great. We just have to wait and see what happens. So let's, I don't think, okay, so I zoom down to the 30-minute and see that this gap here has actually had price test it, hold, and send price higher. So honestly, instead of this 1 hour, I think I'm going to move this down here to this 30-minute gap instead. So I want to see what happens once we get here. All right. So go to the 1 minute. It's apparently 11:29 in the afternoon. So, or 11:20 in the afternoon. Okay, usually I get like impatient and start like, and I always miss setups. So you guys are just gonna have to deal with me just letting it play. I'm sorry. All right. So now looks like we are getting a reaction, but where is it coming from? Let's check. So okay, let me explain why I'm doing that. Cool, Ant. You're noticing things. So look at this. We got this potential V shape right here, right? There is a little gap above. Okay, here, that's a good one. So we got this potential 5-minute here, right? So I'm not just going to sit here and look at this and go, oh, here's a 5-minute gap. I need to start checking other things. Do we have delivery from another gap to the left? Which looks like we do here. Can I like not extend right? Oh. So let's see if that's our gap. Okay, so look at this. We discover this tiny little 5-minute way to the left, right? Draw it out, extend it right, and look. See how the bodies of these candles are respecting this gap so nicely? Okay, so if we V-shape through this 5-minute, I could consider longing. I know we haven't tapped into discount, technically, but why? Look at all this LRLR we've swept, okay? And let's say we use this run up from this 15-minute swing low instead of using the higher time frame premium and discount. Well, then technically right here on the 15-minute chart, we are in discount, okay? So you can go to different time frames and find different confluences to pair for your setups. Sometimes you just got to look around a little bit. So we're going to watch this 5-minute because I like it. What's going on? Control space to skip one candle instantly. Chat. Shortcuts are a thing? Okay, so the 5-minute did push up here, but we did not get the inverse, so. Okay, so here's this 5-minute inverse. We have delivery. We have liquidity sweep. We have this little mini LRLR to the left here. So you see how we zoom in on the 1 minute? There's not really any like gaps that should hold us down. Why did I just freeze? What's going on? Let's check if there's an SMT anywhere, actually. So no SMT, but ES is also looking pretty bullish right here. So one thing to keep note, ES is already tapping into this gap that we've rejected from once. Well, a few times actually. But now we've swept a low. This is a pretty bullish reaction. We have delivery. Let's take it. Does anybody not understand why we're going to try this? Or does anybody have any other thoughts on it? Do you think we shouldn't take it? The only thing that would get me hesitant is this huge dump. But it's not the first setup, right? We technically had a little manipulation down. We have delivery. Are we in a macro? No. 30-minute chart. Ooh. Well, we're taking it. So 100 points is crazy. I'd probably only just try and target. Okay, wow, that's a lot. Let's see. I guess here would be my. Dang. I mean, 45 points is a good TP, chat. What do you guys think? Stop loss is ginormous. But not for me because I use a hard stop. Wait. Chat, I feel like hard stop gets stopped out on this trade. For some reason, I feel like hard stop's getting stopped out on this trade. We'll give it 25 points. And honestly, if I'm really taking it, I'm probably not going to want to risk any more than that. So, yeah, true. So we can have a bigger stop but risk less. Should we do that? I also think it's a good trade. All right, so we'll do a 30-point stop. Honestly, if this comes back 30 points, this is an L. Like, this is really good. Chat, my stomach. Don't do this. All right, so we'll risk just a little bit here. We'll risk $250. Perfect. Okay, let's see what the 1 minute's doing. So now we're kind of just like hitting the same area where we were rejecting before, but I don't think it's going to keep doing that. All right, so just swept these highs. We're up 23 points. I'd say that's a safe place to go break even, honestly. This is really good momentum. Why would this slow down? There's no gaps here. There's only highs that need to get wrecked. You guys think? Will be. And bang. So there's full TP on that. Good trade. Notice, let's see, the 15-point stop would have definitely worked. Like, that's why I like using the 15-point stop, because if it's a banger and has good momentum, dude, it's weird if it comes back that much. So, really good trade there. Bang, bang. Already an improved analysis over last year. Chat, I have a better win rate already after 1 day of back testing than I did all of October last year. All right, so.
Can you see if it hits the, just play it out?
Yeah, I think we're going to tap this 5 minute up here.
That's what I was thinking too.
Here. But like, honestly, 48 points. I don't need no more than that. Show the left again, the gap we're delivering from. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to recap this entire trade right now before we move on. So, first thing, we swept all this LRLR. Okay, so I'll draw this here to the left or to the right. Template. Oh, I don't have my broom template, chat. Oh my God, I learned how to bring up emojis and everything's life-changing. Chat, if you didn't know, Windows key, period. W. Bottom right. Okay. Oh my gosh, my broom needs to be so much larger. We clean house more than that. All right. So we got this liquidity sweep. Okay. Now, I was looking for a higher time frame gap, but look on the 30-minute chart. We have this. Not super obvious, but we could have marked it. Honestly, bro, I'm at work right now. It's dead. There's 3 to 4 people here. Then I looked at the 15-minute, and I noticed, okay, cool. We do have this gap here. The gap that I found was on the 5-minute because we happen to be looking at the 5-minute time frame for the setup. So I just happen to be using the 5-minute as well. So we have delivery from the 5-minute. Where'd it go? Bottom right. Chat, it doesn't want to mark the. Oh, why is it on the left? It's chat. Do you guys see this? It literally says bottom right, and it's over here.
You might have drawn it in reverse.
What the heck? When I extend it to the right, it should go to the right. Why is it not? What the heck? All right. I don't want to. I'm going to just. No, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to just draw a text box here and list everything. How's that? So we have delivery from 5-minute gap. We have sweep. We have discount of 15-minute range. We have momentum. We have BE plus TP targets to the left. No SMT this time, but I mean, this is an A+ list of confluences here. So these are our reasons for taking this trade. Here's the inverse. I feel like this is gonna keep pumping, but a good trade is a good trade. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Look at the exit, chat. W exit. Why do I get out there? Well, look, we have this high that we just swept. Okay, we have this gap that has held price down once already. So instead of just getting out, I guess I would actually like to explain why. Well, this is kind of the first decent setup after a really big move down, right? And we've put in these bearish gaps and we've been respecting them. So, yes, we get this V shape, but I don't know if once we tap this gap, we're going to reject again or not. So, put the TP right here above this swing, this near swing high, so we don't aim for too much. And yeah, you don't have to catch every single point necessary, even though we almost did. Okay, sorry. Sorry. Yeah, it's recorded. I'm sorry. So yeah, actually we got out at such a great time. Even if this does keep pumping, why would we ever want to sit through this? Okay, there, we would have been break even there. So really good trade. Why does this make me wonder what the hell I was thinking in October, chat? We're already doing better. So cool. We'll go next day. Let me remove these markings. Why do we go next day? Because why would we take more than one trade in a day? Unless you get break even and you re-enter. Wasn't me, chat. Wasn't me. So I um I think I'm gonna keep this 15-minute gap drawn, even though we're gonna go to the next day, and I'm gonna keep this premium discount drawn. Before I move on, genuinely, is there any questions about that last trade? Anything that doesn't make sense? Good. All right. Go to next day open. All right, cool. So it's sending us. I always have it open up at 8:30 because I want to try one set for life if we get one. Okay, so look at this. So this is the 5-minute that we took yesterday, right? So here's the 5-minute. This come down, never ended up inversing this BPR and just ripped up higher. So, uh, really good trade to go be or to take profit there. We still haven't come down and tapped into this 15-minute, but we are generating LRLR to the downside and to the upside. So, bull flag. Anyway, basically at this point now, since I think overall we should still be pretty bullish here, I would like to see a manipulation down at open. We sweep these lows, tap this 15-minute maybe even wick down and sweep this, and then get an inverse long to target this LRLR here. So, I'm not gonna watch pre-market chop. I'll fast forward to open. Maybe. What's going on here, bro? Just let's do a backtesting class, even though I don't even freaking know how to use FX replay, chat. Oh, this is the kind of stuff that you see like pre-market, right? Like we don't even sweep anything or deliver, and we just rip. What is that? Why is that? Chat, I apparently don't know quick maths. Is that open? Go back to the 1 minute. Okay, that's open. What? One of these type of opens, huh? Let's check the 30-second real quick. Low key. Yeah, no. Nope. Me pausing the candles, anticipating an inverse setup is hilarious. I'm like, wait, this might pump. Pause. 1 minute OB down. Okay. So we got this 1 minute order block down. We put in this 1 minute gap. We wicked into it, and we're still pushing down. So this is pretty much exactly what we were wanting to see. Damn. So we just swept this low. Okay. Let's check different time frames. Um so we debatably have this 2 minute that's delivering from this 2 minute BPR. Um we swept this low. We tapped into this gap. Let's see if we have an SMT actually. What the hell is going on? Yes. 2 minute. Looks like we do have an SMT. So we have an SMT. We have a bullish SMT here. Okay. Now, this is what I don't like about this one in comparison to the last trade we took. See how when we look to the left, it's nothing but down candles? Like there's no like little swing highs or like some equal highs or anything like that near this. It's just straight down. So like that is something that I don't like. I know mechanically it looks okay and it could work, but like in live time, I don't think I'm taking this, to be honest. Because I mean, there's not really any gaps actually. Chat, maybe we do full port this. Have an SMT, got delivery, we got a sweep. I just don't like how there's not close targets here. Viewers vote. I'll let you guys decide. What do you think? Are we in a macro? We are approaching the 950 macro. 4 minutes away. Sketch? I agree. I feel like in live time, this is something I just tape read. And if it works, then I miss out. Chat? I think for I think for backtesting purposes, I'm gonna take this. And if it loses, who cares? For some reason, I think it works to this gap right here, and then it's like a quick BE. See, and then, but then when you start looking around, you're like, where do I target? That's when you're like, maybe this isn't that good of a trade. I feel like as soon as I get it, it's gonna go like this.
If that's what you're thinking, then don't take it.
uh,
You know what I mean? Like, what would you do in actual real now based on what you know? Would you just wait it out?
Based on what I know, I don't think I'm taking this. I think actually the only way is if this 1 minute here inverses. That would give me more confidence because then I look to the left and there's not really anything to slow us down. Why don't we play one more candle here? Whoa! Chat. We made the biggest mistake of all time. We made the biggest mistake of all time. Dang it. Well, now I'm torn. Do we get in now? Maybe run this LR chat. Do we get in now? Yo, chat, imagine having FOMO during backtesting. Literally imagine having FOMO during backtesting. I'm sitting here going, rip. We should have took that. That's all right. On to the next. Or do we get in now?
The indecision is killing me.
It looks likely to be a break-even trade. Okay, that's fine. Chat, we blew it. Now I don't really know what to look for. What is going on here? Look, hold up. Mods? I'm just kidding. Chat, I just was like all like locked in and now I'm not. What happened here? Why don't you ask? Why don't you DM me, bro? I'm trying to run a class. Now I'm distracted. We got 11 minutes till this 15-minute closes. And if we close above this, then we miss the trade of the day. So, shout out to hesitating. All right. Okay. What do we got here? Chat, we're going short. Fix the FOMO by reversing position. All right, here. This is not clean at all. So we did sweep these highs. I honestly really like the way that we wicked up into this and rejected so hard. We got LRLR down here. We do have this SMT that could potentially want to be broken. Tapped into this 15-minute, rejected again. Do we have an SMT? Why do these look like this? Dude, what the heck? actually don't mind this 30-second. Dude, chat, I'm so sorry. I lost my train of thought so bad. I can't lie. All right. We swept the highs. We tapped this 15 minutes. We have LRLR down here. Low key chat. I kind of like this. Like in live time, I would actually be more hyped to take this than the 2 minute from the bottom that we didn't take. So I think even though we're like a candle late, we're going to hop in this. We got LRLR down here. We swept these highs. Pretty good momentum down. We'll do the same risk, so $250. Okay. So there's an immediate 15 points. Honestly, I do not want us to tap into this 30-second below and pump. So I'm going to go break even here. Like that's honestly how I would do that in live time too. We shouldn't come back up, which honestly is more of a reason to go BE, right? Because if we shouldn't, well, then we shouldn't. So this 30-second now seems to be kind of holding. Part of me wants to scale a little. Because we are kind of going for higher R. So maybe we just secure a little bag and try and leave these runners down. So we'll scale some there and see if this plays out. All right. So good scale, honestly, because we just got wrecked. So at least we secured a little bit of the bag. Really good trade still. Way to like good read, you know, because if we inverse this 30-second, keep coming down, inverse this, why would we not run these lows? Right? Like from a basic liquidity standpoint, we swept highs, we have lows below. Why would we not start running these? So when you see that, you see us stalling here at this trend line, sometimes that's a good sign that the trade's not going to run the way you think it is. So cool. Another dub. Um, so almost all the same reasons as taking the last trade, right? Sweep, delivery, momentum, targets. Oops. Momentum, targets. The only problem was, right, what happened when we zoomed out on the higher time frame? Well, we were looking at potentially this 15-minute gap inversing after getting this big bullish SMT down here. So, in my eyes, longs are probably the play here, but mechanically that short looked good, so that's why we tried it. I'm gonna see if this 15-minute inverses. Yeah, so the 15-minute inverse, but it also just tapped into this other 15-minute to the left. Doesn't really matter to us because we're gonna go to the next day. We'll take one more trade probably, and then that'll be a class. So here's next day. We're literally still like, so pretty successful 2 trades considering we've been in this chop the entire 2 days. So that's cool. And you know what? Honestly, you guys, that short that we just took, like now that I'm looking back, there's no way that last October I was managing that trade the same way. Like I was not going break even there. I was not going to scale there, and I was going to try and hold my TP, and I probably would have got stopped out for a big loss. So just seeing like little things that you do differently is pretty cool, actually. But yeah, again, we're still down in this range, so kind of tough to trade in. I'd love to see something actually external get swept. I mean, let's see, how big is this? 270 points. So it's a tradable range, but it just makes price action a little ugly, I think. Like, I mean, you can a 257 point range, you can catch 30 points, but it's just the setup's just none of this looks very clean. See that? Not a lot of gaps. Like this is the 5 minute chart, and this is really, really like overlappy, lots of wicks. Is that a data candle? Bro. News. What day is this? Thursday. So there's 10 a.m. news on Thursday, which is this day. So we'll watch out for that. But we'll skip to whoa. See, every time I fast forward it. Okay, wait, there was nothing. Cool. I was like, dude, every time I try and skip ahead, I always miss a setup. Wait, chat. So bro hopped in here to say he needed a partner and then left.
Yeah. He posted in general as well. I just deleted it because
What the heck is that?
we can have a talk with him personally.
Like you can't even stick around for the class, but you got something to say? That's crazy, dude. Man. I mean, I'm not trying to knock him. I respect the hustle, but there's ways to go about things.
Exactly.
In the middle of teaching a class is like not ideal to come say things like that. I haven't taken my L-tyrosine yet this morning, bro. You can't catch me off guard like that. I can't focus enough. Let's get to open, please, real quick. All right, so here's open. Kind of like, I guess, ran some of this trend line, but not really. We tapped into this 1 minute here. That's been holding price up a lot. There is this here, which is not the greatest, but ooh, what was that? Oh wait, that was open. Dude, what was I looking at? All right. Okay, well that's unfortunate. I was going to say we could take this 2 minute, but I guess market didn't want us to. Rip. So let's go over the reasoning real quick though for this 2 minute, right? We swept these lows down here. We keep wicking down, but can't close below this 1 minute. And then we have this 2 minute that held price down once. So now we skyrocket through it. There's not really anything to hold price back. This is probably going to go to this high here. But obviously we did not get an entry. Could have taken the 1 minute, I guess. But I wasn't watching the 1 minute. So there's that high get taken. Now, I know we ran this a little bit, but honestly, there's still some really good LRLR down here. Dude, why does ES look like this? I feel like it's not. I feel like it's not in the right spot, even though it says 1 minute time frame. Let me refresh real quick. Like, why does ES look like it's only showing? Oh wait, that's why, dude. ES was set to electronic trading hours this whole damn time. Gosh, that's annoying, dude. Um, anyone know how to make the session things go away again? Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, that just wait. What is going on? Okay, that just changed everything, chat. Because, dude, now it went back. Now it's on a different day. It just skipped to. I don't know what's going on with my thing right now, dude. We were literally looking at. It's not even the same time anymore. What just happened? I feel like it skipped days or something. Oh no, it went back. Okay, let's just skip ahead. I'm so sorry, guys. My thing just malfunctioned. Wait, chat. Do we full port this 1 minute now since we know what happens? I'm kidding. All right, here's this inverse. This is going to pump to here. Oh my God, market maker. How's it going, Mark? All right. So now let me go back. Okay, we're back where we were. I'm really sorry. We do have a little bit of an SMT here with this high. So we swept this high on NQ, but not ES. We have delivery from this gap right here. I'm looking at, what was it? This 2 minute, I think. Here. Okay, so we're not going to get that. Sounds good. All right. So now we just swept out all these highs. We have decent LRLR below. Let's zoom out real quick. Okay. So this looks like it might potentially want to tap into this unfilled 15 minute. We'll watch and see what happens with that. All right, so there's the tap into the 15 minute. Obviously, the trade that we were looking at was this 2 minute down here. It never gave us the entry, so now we just get to watch NQ rip without us. And literally, that's just how it is sometimes. See how we react to this 15 minute. Okay. Oh, wait, there's news. Whoa. Okay. Chad, is there supposed to be some sort of entry off this giant death candle? What is going on here? So really bearish candle after sweeping all these highs, honestly. Do we? Okay, I see. So we finally broke out of this range that we've been in this whole session, right?
Mm-hmm.
We tapped into this giant 15-minute, which explains that big ass candle. So now we finally swept all the highs that are in this range. So now what's left? The lows from the range, right? So now that we pushed up like this and got a really bearish reaction, um, let's see what happens. Unfortunately, like other than assuming this goes lower, I don't really see any gaps to enter off of, which is kind of lame.
Can we go back to the 5 minute?
Maybe the 5 min.
Tapping into another 5 minute right now.
No, it's kind of ripping through everything. So maybe we take this 5 min if we get it. Ooh. Let's see if we got an SMT. Probably not. Oh. Oh. All right. Chat. We're about to take our last trade of the session, and I'm going to tell you why. Really nice bearish SMT here. Oh my gosh, after going through all this, if it gets wrecked, I'll laugh so hard. Actually, we'll go with this one because so we have a really nice bearish SMT here, right? NQ pumped and took all these highs out, tapped into this 15-minute to the left. ES did not. However, ES did take some liquidity, and it's delivering from this little gap right here to the left. So even though it's not correlated, we have an SMT. We have targets below on ES as well. The V shape, the V shape triggering. The only problem that I have is right here. You would want to be like your break even spot, and you see how we've kind of already wicked it. That's the only thing I don't like about it. But we're gonna give this a try. Holy hugest! Wow, this stop loss is ginormous. Chat, we're gonna have to take this with like really light. We'll do a 30-point stop. Jeez, I feel like I feel like that's gonna get wrecked for some reason. I mean, the reaction after sweeping those highs and tapping that 15-minute is super bearish. Like this candle, we're taking it. Who cares? Everything mechanically looks good. If it fails, it fails. That's just how it goes. Actually, one more thing I want to look at. So we also tapped into premium of this dump. So the same 5 minute gap on NQ is also holding on ES too, but NQ just happened to sweep all the liquidity too. So we'll go 250 risk, just like normal. Uh-oh. We're cooked. I knew it. So again, this is why I was saying I really hate that we wick down into this before we get the close. Like ideally, we just close right up here without wicking down like that first. So I'm not surprised that that happened. I'm also not surprised if this keeps going lower. All right, so there would have been TP. That entry was just cooked, pretty much. So we have the direction right. It was the correct setup, but the entry was just not the greatest, which we said in the moment before we ever got in. So sometimes those are just things that you notice, and you have to like see it in live time and recognize it and not be like purely mechanical, you know? Like yeah, everything about it looked A plus, but then you got to be subjective and be like, okay, well that was a pretty average close, and we like if the candle close is where you want your break even to be, don't take it. That's honestly how I feel about it. Like if you're looking at a break even point down here, which is what I was looking at, was going BE here, but you see how we get the wick, like it wicks down and taps their break even before we get the close, and that for me sucks. Um, so yeah, obviously if we had a bigger stop loss, it wouldn't have mattered, but I'm just managing it how I would. So, but yeah, I think we'll wrap it up there. Um, and I did leave a trade open, so we can maybe experiment with that.
Mine just did too.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I think that's gonna do it, chat. Thank you guys for being here for real. Appreciate it. Obviously, it makes it better because teaching a class to yourself is boring.